Did you know there was a study done one time on cats where some cats were raised in a room full of vertical lines only, and some cats were raised with only horizontal lines? And those cats who, for example, only saw vertical lines, their brain, the way it developed, it could not interpret, it could not see horizontal lines. In its personal reality, it only saw vertical lines. And I want to share with you how that could be happening in your life as well, but with your limiting beliefs. The brain is a perfect prediction model. It always has a bias and it always trying to serve its same purpose, its same programs. But oftentimes, we're brought up at a very young age through culture, society, parenting, etc., where we have these limiting programs put into us that then change the way we perceive our own reality. For example, fear of failure, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you're never enough. All of these feelings and all these beliefs and thoughts and these negative thoughts that we have about ourselves are coming from a limiting program, a limiting belief. So I'm going to show you today on a big masterclass on exactly how to identify this, how to dissect it, and how to transform yourself at the highest level possible. This is the stuff that the top, highest level of spiritual gurus, spiritual teachers, masters in psychology, this is the stuff that they focus on that really help the top level people make drastic, unbelievable changes in their lives. Let's dive in. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Caden. I've personally transformed over 500 clients, changing their internal lives so they can then change their external lives at the highest level possible. And the first thing I'm going to break down here for you today, guys, is how this works. Okay, let's say here you are. And you have all these certain set ideas around yourself. So think of these pieces here as labels. We all have them, right? Some of us think that we're smart. Some of us think that we're not smart, or maybe we're bad at math. Some of us believe that we're confident, maybe we're not confident. Some of us have feelings or beliefs that we're good enough or not good enough. Some of us have thoughts, feelings, and label ourselves as anxious people, not anxious. We all have them. Think of those as labels. Now, when we think about these things, like, well, I'm just not a confident person, we don't think of it as such a heavy thing, right? It just kind of comes out of us natural. Well, I'm just an anxious person. Well, I was never really good enough at that skill. Well, I'm just bad at math. We don't really take it too heavy, right? It's just kind of a program coming out of our lips. Like, we don't think too much out of it. But what if I told you that these labels were the exact things here that was building a prison around your potential? So here's your potential. Here's your potential outside this box. And these labels are keeping you stuck. How would you feel then? How would you feel that if all of the success, the relationships, sorry, my pen's not working today, the love, freedom, all the things that you've been wanting in your mind are outside of this box, but we might not be able to even perceive them, to be able to catch it, to be able to even see it, because this box is keeping us stuck. That is the idea around how our limiting beliefs are keeping us stuck to the point where we can't even see outside of it. Because I'll tell you this, the brain, your core beliefs and your fears, number one, the brain is just so complex, so powerful. And your brain, your fears and your limiting beliefs, they do not want to be changed. So they'll try every single thing in their power to stay the same. This is why when you hear people talk about like, well, I really want to change my career, but it's just so hard to. I'm just so scared. Where that's coming from is the program that actually doesn't want to change the career. It is the belief, the identity, whatever it may be, that wants things to stay normal and comfortable, does not want change. Part of you might want change, but the deeper part of you probably doesn't actually want it. So here's an example. Let's say when it comes to luck, let's say there is a lucky person, and let's say there is the un unlucky person. And let's take them through two scenarios. So the lucky person, I know I have beautiful drawings, and the unlucky person. Here is how your limiting beliefs kind of shape the way in which you perceive your personal reality and how that truly does affect every single thing in your life. So the person who believes that they are lucky, everything works out for me, will say, and the person who believes that I have bad luck or good things never happen to me or whatever belief system it may be. Let's say a situation pops up where they get the opportunity maybe to invest into a new opportunity. So we'll say new op. And someone comes up to them and asks them about this idea. Okay, so this pops up in both of their lives. Okay. So we know that your core beliefs are producing, influencing the thoughts, the feelings that you have on a daily basis. So the person who believes that everything works out for me, the thoughts, emotions that they're probably having around this situation is, ooh, exciting. Sorry, guys, my pen's not working today. Exciting. I'll check it out, right? They'll be curious. They'll be excited about this. Someone brings them an opportunity. It's like, okay, well, I want to dig deeper into this. I want to see what this is about. I know everything kind of works out for me, so I see this as a massive opportunity right now. But the person who believes that they're unlucky and they have bad luck, the thoughts that they're going to say is scammers are everywhere. It's not that easy. These are the thoughts that they're going to have. And how do you think they're going to feel? More negative about it, right? They're going to be more on edge about it all. Remember, same situation, but they're perceiving it differently. So the person who believes everything works out for them, that they do end up being lucky over and over again, they're having new thoughts and feelings about the situation. And then we know that these influence overall your actions. So let's say they look into it and they say, you know what? This is actually a great opportunity. I'm going to invest into this opportunity because it seems so good. So they take that inspired action, they invest into whatever it is. Okay. And the person who believes, okay, well, everything's a scam, things don't really work out for me, they don't even care to look into the opportunity when that person asks them, their buddy, their friend, family member, whatever it may be. Say, no, thanks. Nothing really ever works out for me. It's not that easy. I'm good. I'll pass this time. So the action they take is nothing. So they don't do anything. And then let's say, for example, the end result, the end result is that it worked out. So they got the dollars. It worked out. The company was a success. Perfect. Right? This person who believed everything worked out for me, they looked at that as an opportunity, as a possibility to get what it is that they want because they truly believe everything works out for them. So they had different thoughts and emotions around the situation. And therefore, they took different action and they invested into it. And now it ended up working out for them. And then the person who was like, I have bad luck, things are scanned, it never works out for me, more of a pessimistic view, their thoughts and feelings were completely different. So they passed up the opportunity and they didn't take any action. So they stay the same. When the results come around, why do you think the person who believes they're lucky and everything works out for them, what do you think they're going to feel plus think? They're probably going to think and feel the same way they did before they took action. And that is called, sorry guys, again, my pen's not working today. That's called alignment. Alignment where their beliefs, their thoughts, their feelings, their actions were all connected together to get the results that they wanted. So they're probably thinking and feeling the same way, right? Oh my gosh, I'm such a lucky person. Things just seem to fall in my lap. It always works out for me. But what do you think the person down below is feeling? And how do you think they're thinking and feeling overall after all this? Right? Where they didn't take the opportunity and they saw, like, oh my gosh, it became a massive success. Why didn't I buy in? Wow, see, things just never work out for me. These opportunities just never seem to work out for me. I have the worst luck in the world. I cannot believe I passed up on that. And it probably feeds that same system. I have bad luck. And that influences them over and over and over and over again. And that's just the one smallest example on how your belief system, your core belief systems and fears influence everything in your life. When I say everything, I mean everything in your life. And that's just one small example on luck versus bad luck and lucky. Same opportunity, they just both perceived it completely differently. So now it makes you think, well, what about the beliefs that I had about myself about being good enough? Or fear, I swear my writing's a little bit better than this. Fear of failure, right? Or being smart or confidence. All the common ones that so many of us have. Imagine, because these are all beliefs. And the things about beliefs is that beliefs can change. They're not solid. Right? These are not facts if you're good enough or not good enough. It's not a fact if you're smart or not smart enough. These are all beliefs and they can change. So just imagine if we have all these limiting beliefs and ideas around ourselves, how much we're missing out on life. How many results could you have gotten in your life if your belief systems were in alignment with what you truly wanted? Just imagine that for a second. So that's why I want to show you today on how to change these limiting beliefs, at least for the most part. So think of it like this. Here you are. And then here's your, we'll say, beliefs. And we'll say fears. So you can only grow to the capacity of which you have expanded yourself. If you have not expanded yourself, which means if you do not expand your lens on life, your perspective, the way you see things, then you will keep stuck in that same bubble, that same lens which you see and experience your life. It will keep replaying over and over and over and over again. So we cannot grow outside of that. So we need to expand it. So again, a lot of us, right? We try to keep that same program very small and stuck. We want things to be consistent because the animal brain runs most of our lives. And the animal brain only cares about, it wants you to be safe, secure, it wants to predict, right? So not a lot of changes going on. So it wants everything to stay the same in this bubble. But how you can expand yourself, one of the ways, is removing the limiting beliefs that you have. Because once you can remove the limiting beliefs, you can see things from new angles, from new lenses, from new perspectives. You can give new meaning to things, new definitions to things, and therefore you are expanding yourself at a very high level. For example, abundance. Someone with a constricted view on abundance might just see abundance as money. But someone with an expanded view who have let go of limiting beliefs might see abundance as resources, people, nature, life, so every single event they're in, so much more abundance. They'll realize that they already have all the abundance around them. They're so much more rich than they can imagine. And then that changes, that influences then how they take action in life, their stress levels, everything that follows through. So the key here is how can you expand yourself at the highest level possible? So think of it like this. How can I expand myself at the highest level possible? Let's say this is 100%. Let's say this is 1%. And by the way, it never ends. But we'll just say in this context that 100% is the end, right? We want to go up. This is expanded, okay? And then below is constrict, constricted, okay? So we're trying to go up. We want to expand ourselves. So how do we expand something, right? Well, we need to take the thing that's constricting it away. So when it comes to you, how you can expand yourself, so how you can expand your views, your beliefs, and who you are, it's not always about becoming more, it's about letting go of the anchors keeping you in the box in the first place. So, learning beliefs, fears, safety. Okay. So, for you, it is how can I let go of the limiting beliefs and programs that I have of myself? So, can I expand myself at the highest level possible? So, here's how you would tell is a limiting belief, any belief that is disempowering. Any belief that is disempowering is a limiting belief. Because remember, beliefs are not facts. Beliefs can change. So you want to hold true to that, right? That is a part of your power, is that you can change your beliefs. So I would rather live in a magical world than a scary world. Some people might say, well, you're crazy and delusional, but those people might also be constantly suffering and living a terrible life because of those constricting limiting beliefs. Why would I ever want those if my magical world is way better, right? And at the end of the day, we're all going to die. Things are going to keep going. So A limiting belief is any belief that is disempowering, any belief that constricts you, disempowers you. So, stuff like not enough, not worthy, right? Lack, and also fear. All these feelings and thoughts. And remember, so these, and any belief that is disempowering, a limiting belief, all these things can also show up as thoughts, feelings, patterns that are disempowering. And the reason why I say that is because these are only created through that belief system. So these are kind of like a projection, a creation of the belief itself. So this is why your self-talk is also so unbelievably important. The thoughts that you have on a daily basis, and also your feelings. Your feelings are not like, oh, I feel anxious. That doesn't mean it's bad. Look at it more so as a messenger. What is it telling me? Where is this coming from? What's really going on? Because oftentimes we'll feel that feeling and it's like, I got to run away from that feeling. I got to instantly change it. But then it keeps showing up over and over and over again. Or if we keep finding ourselves in terrible relationships or terrible financial situations, like a pattern that repeats over and over in our lives. If we want to end, we got to find the reason of why the pattern's being created in the first place. And to understand that, we need to understand how the brain works. And the brain will only do what it believes is best for it, which belief serves it. So now that we know that any belief is disempowering, we can hold that power, right? When we have these negative thoughts about ourselves, these negative feelings, we don't need to get so caught up into it. We can realize and say, hey, I noticed that this old program is playing out. I notice I'm having these thoughts that are very negative at myself. I notice I'm having these very negative feelings. And I know, though, that these are coming from some sort of limiting belief that is causing me to give the situation I'm in certain meaning or to define the situation I'm in a way that is negative that doesn't make me feel good. So I want to change that. So here's another example. So again, you have yourself, and then let's say your current negative belief system is I'm not good enough. And when you have this limiting belief of not good enough, so we'll say this is the limiting belief. What are the thoughts you think that you're going to have on a daily basis when you have this limiting belief of I'm not good enough? Well, the thoughts would be I need to do more, right? Need to accomplish more. Um, when you get a reward, when you accomplish something, right, you won't be able to celebrate it. So you can't celebrate it, right? You can't already see the success that you're having. Blind to success. And then eventually over time, you're going to have low confidence, right? Someone who's confident, they know who they are. If you don't think you're truly good enough, you're going to struggle to have overall positive confidence, right? That confidence will pop up as insecurity, too prideful, cocky, whatever it may be, trying to prove ourselves because we haven't realized that we're already are good enough, right? The people who are most insecure are usually the loudest. So this limiting belief of I'm not good enough is producing these thoughts here. And then how do you think these thoughts will make us feel, right? Because a thought held for 7 seconds creates an emotion. Well, they're probably going to feel pretty sad, pretty down, right? They might even get depressed. They might feel behind in life. They might feel like they're lacking. And again, not enough. That might cause anxiety. Oh, I'm falling behind. I'm not doing enough. I got to do more, 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 more. And the actions you think they're going to take are almost bipolar, up and down, sporadic action, rush, overwork, and burn out. So there you guys. So you guys see the feelings. Okay, so those are their actions. The results, quit. The candle's eventually gonna go out. Burnout, never ending cycle. And the results will influence that same old limiting belief system. And then that's what keeps them trapped in this prison. And they will keep finding out that they are not good enough. And the only point when it changes is the point where they realize that not good enough is not them. It's just a limiting belief that is creating their personal reality. Think of it like this. You're going to watch a movie. You're the one watching the movie. You're not the movie itself. The limiting belief that you have is the movie, the DVD that you're putting in. Oh, I'm going to put not enough in. Okay. Not enough is playing out. Now I'm watching it. Now I'm getting hooked into the movie. Oh my gosh. They don't think they're enough. Oh my gosh. They need to do more. They need to go accomplish more. Oh my gosh. That person's not good enough. They got to go do it. Oh my gosh. I feel so sad. And you get so caught up in the movie, right? And it plays out. You got to remember you're the one who's watching. You're not the movie itself. So that's the first step in the change in this, right? Is it's not that you're not good enough. It's just the story that's playing out right now. You are the one who is observing all this. You are that powerful. And you don't want to forget that. That's the first thing to remember is your power. So once you can realize that, oh, shoot, okay, I see myself caught in this story. And the reason why I can't get out of the story is because I'm so caught up in the story. It's like a paradox, right? It's like up is down. So I'm noticing that I can't get unstuck because I have these beliefs that I'm not good enough, but I don't think I'm good enough to change it. But the reason why all these thoughts and these feelings and these actions and the cycle is going out is because the same belief system's playing over and over and over and over again. And I don't hate myself for it because I realize that it's just my brain trying to keep me protected. Right? It's just that animal brain. And once we can realize that, right? And come from love, of course, we can change it. Remembering this power. So once we catch this, right, we catch the cycle. Well, how do we now expand ourselves? Okay, here it is again. Here I am, right? And it's like, okay, I want to go outside. I want to expand. Okay. So the next time that I have, let's say, this limiting belief of not good enough, I can choose to go back into the old programming, which means, so I have the limiting belief, and then I have the thought of I'm not doing enough. And the feeling from that is it makes me sad. Okay, so this is a pattern that's starting to repeat. So what I can choose to do is I can allow this program to play out. I can watch the movie again. I just had a thought of I'm not good enough. And it makes me feel very sad. I can choose to identify with that and allow that story to play out and take action based off that, which I'm going to get the same result over and over and over again. Or I can choose to interrupt and break the pattern. And here's how you do it. I recognize I had this thought that I'm not enough, but I realize like I don't want to think that way anymore. And I don't want that to be my truth anymore. That makes me sad. That's very disempowering. And I realize now that that's not actually me. That thought's coming from somewheres. I'm the one observing all this. So I don't want to be that way anymore. So I'm going to change it. So I got to ask myself though, like, where does this thought come from in the first place? So then you can ask the question, okay? Here's the magical question. I'm not going to write it out, but the magical question is, well, I had this thought of I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. What would I have to believe to be true about myself for me to think this way? Well, I'd have to believe that I'm not good enough. Boom. There you go. You just caught the limiting belief. And the beautiful thing is that once you realize that it's a limiting belief and it's not rooted in truth, your brain does not need to keep replaying it anymore. It might take time for your body to catch up, your nervous system, because that matters. But once you realize this, the change is going to change. Things are going to change. Then it becomes a decision to either continue to act out in that old way. And if you do, it's because there's an underlying fear. And that's what I help my one-to-one clients do who transform their lives from the internal out. So it could be a fear. But if not, like there's no reason to continue to act out this story anymore. You can change the DVD. You can become who it is that you actually want to become. So once you ask that question, what would I have to believe to be true about myself in order to be thinking this way? A thought that comes up, I'm not good enough. But you realize now, well, that's just a belief. Beliefs are not solid. Beliefs can change. So what's a more empowering belief than this idea that I'm not good enough? Oh, I am good enough, right? A 180. Okay. So now we're breaking the pattern, right? We're breaking the pattern. And now the new belief over here. So we'll say empowered belief is I am good enough. So that's a new empowered belief. So now, if we're good enough, what are the thoughts we're going to have then? And then what about the feelings? And then what about the actions? And then the results. And that's how you break the pattern. And that's how you expand yourself. Because now, you who was stuck in this box of not good enough, well, I mean, you've broken that box. It's not true. So you see things now from a total different lens. So now what you have is a more expanded viewpoint of I'm good enough. So now when it comes time to like changing your life, changing things, you're going to have different thoughts that are empowering, different feelings about it that will keep you more consistent, different actions that will then get you different results that will make that smile come on your face. Look at that right there. That's how you expand yourself. And that's how you dissect those limiting beliefs. And that's how you, where is it at? Expand. And now you know, and this should excite you of like, well, what else can I do to expand myself? Because you will get to a place eventually. It took me a while, but you will get there where you just constantly come from love, unconditional love. You constantly come from trust, constantly come from confidence. Because it's not about changing, it's about actually remembering who you are, how actually genuinely powerful you really are. The world might have told you and taught you to be someone you're not, and now you're remembering who you really are. And when you know who you are, when you're solid in that, everything in your life will change. I can promise you that. And that is how you expand yourself through limiting beliefs. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end it off there. That is the training for today, the class for today. Now, if this did help you, Make sure you like and subscribe. If you do want some one-on-one transformational coaching, spots will be coming out very, very soon to join. You can always message me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Caden Hayward. You can message Coach. We can chat about details and what you actually need help with and see if I can really help you out. But without that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next training. Thanks so much for being here.